This is Sybert signing into Red Alert 3, and yes indeed, it is Carville time, and we have got ourselves another 2v2v2 in the middle of the island. Once again, the double blue team playing Soviets. This is Yannick playing the blue allies. This is Cyber11. On the north side, the green team playing Empire. Give it up for GreenAlert. And his ally playing allies with this fresh minty green color. This is Vitamin, or Vitamin, if you like. Meanwhile, on the south side, the red-orange team. Well, orange is indeed Zorminator. He's playing Soviets. And rounding out our sixth player, also playing Soviets, this is USSR 2.0, which is definitely a very thematically apt name for Red Alert 3, because they're very much trying to be the USSR 2.0, the new and improved version. Go back in time, get rid of Einstein, create USSR 2.0, but of course, create the Empire of the Rising Sun, which, ends up being just as much trouble as anything else, but it's a very, very apt name. The last two Carville 2v2v2v2v2s that we've seen, maybe the last three, I don't remember, have featured the player in the south getting to go up here and essentially being able to dominate this entire side of the map. And then they just kind of win the game over the course of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. And we'll see if that happens again. Maybe it'll be the same story once again. And if that happens, maybe we'll just keep our hand on the fast forward button a little bit more, because some of these games do indeed drag out. Now, last time we saw it, it actually was a double team. It was a team on the island and then an outside team. And so it ended up being the island team, versus the world, as it often is. But the island team did a pretty good job. They ended up losing eventually, but they did a pretty good job of fighting off the entire outside edge of the map. They were going ham on the defense, and, we cheered for them. Green going aggressive. This is GreenAlert, so he is a pretty good 1v1 player, and in this case, he might be outmatching some of the other folks in this game. We'll see. We'll see how he ends up doing. In Red Alert 3 Masters, he put on a very entertaining Tesla coil rush against Demon, which you have to give it to someone who's willing to Tesla coil rush Demon game one of a best of 5 in a tournament. It's like, okay, this guy, even if he ends up losing, this guy is going to be fun to watch. And the refinery dies moments before the Tesla coil gets eliminated. Those tank busters just slightly too slow. Orange is taking the corner of the map. He's starting to run up against the territory under the control of Vitamin. And Vitamin has actually gone for an expansion here, which means his MCV is elsewhere. I'm not 100% sure where he sent his MCV. Oh, okay, it's right there. It's actually not all that elsewhere. It's pretty nearby, all things considered. Yannick sends his MCV up to the north side, so green has been pretty well kicked off of the island, but if you'll notice, blue is fighting green, orange is tussling with green, and what is red doing? Red is getting free expansions up the left side of the map, dropping a double refinery, moving the MCV immediately, gets one oil derrick, but we can assume the other oil derricks will be shortly following under the control of USSR 2.0, and this is suddenly looking very similar to a couple of the games that we have had recently. Bye-bye, bridge. Well, the bridge is always nice, but if this is going to be... Oh, actually, Team Orange is taking these water expansions. So if Team Orange, which I guess is really Team Red-Orange, But if Zorminator and USSR 2.0 really put up a fight here in the corner of the map, this may drain resources. Orange and green fighting each other. Warm and green, red and orange. I don't know what the good name for them. The combo name, the celebrity mashup name. Scouting Bears getting sniped there. That cruel Tengu gunning down an innocent war bear as V1tam11n going to be pushing in. A couple of twin blades will be getting shredded because that's a lot of jabs on the ground. Tesla coil does go down. You need a bit more firepower to stop this much allied infantry. Well, allied infantry is good, and they find themselves a kill on a refinery. They might not be able to get too much more than that. Well, they can definitely kill this oil derrick if they want to, but they might not get much more than that. And if you cast your eyes over to the resource side of the map, right now, it's not too crazy, but I can tell you that USSR 2.0's average income just cracked 9K. So his average income over the course of 2 minutes, 9K. It's essentially double everyone else on the map. That gives you a good idea of how many refineries he has relative to everyone else. Basically 2.5 times as many reps as everyone else, as any other individual player. And that is exactly what has happened in some recent games, and what could very well lead to a million billion twin blades and MiGs being constructed and just swarming all over the map and taking everything down. We'll see. We'll see. There's still lots of time and opportunity for some other shenanigans to happen, for someone to actually go and attack red, for example. You know, we could have maybe see a double blue team jumping onto that top left-hand corner as these twin blades get shredded, and a couple of strikers going to be showing up here, a couple of Tengus as well, and a little bit of a glitched out war factory which has a full-size door and everything else is just inches above the ground. And actually V1tam11n is going to be forced away here. An extremely and almost comically late Badger bomber comes in there, you know, moments after the entire thing is dissipated. He's like, just to make sure no one go in this area after we're done fighting. When we're done fighting, we're going to let the land rest a little bit. Flak and Twin Blades going at each other, and the Twin Blades will win out that fight eventually, but the Flak will get a couple of good kills, and no, the Twin Blades give up. They pay 98% of the price, and then they just give up on the kill, and that's one of those, like, should you cut your losses, or you've already lost 99% of what you're going to lose, so should you maybe just commit to it? And oh, the engineer. No, don't attack the one that you're going to capture. Attack the other one. And well, he can shut down. Go for the kill. Go for the kill. Oh, he gets the lockdown. That is what we want to see. The love for the Tesla Trooper is what we want here in Red Alert 3. If you're going for the team game, if you're going for the goofy games, give us the Tesla Trooper. Give us that little lockdown mode that they can go into. That is what we want to see, the love for the Tesla Trooper. That unit is only built slightly more than Rocket Angels. And Rocket Angels, you love them in the campaign, and then you never actually get to see them in the real game in multiplayer matches. But, you know, we get to see Tesla Troopers a little bit more than that. Terror Drone and Twin Blades going to be double teaming that Athena Cannon. They really did not want that Athena Cannon to escape. Tengu's going for the hunt. A couple of Twin Blades may pay the price. Nice targeting there. Okay, you got to respect the fact that he snuck in and killed the one low health Twin Blade. He's like, I can get one kill in an instant here with these Tengus. Snipes a Twin Blade and then gets out of there. I love the double refinery snipe there. Hoping to see something like that over here. It would probably require, you know, a Kirov, some V4s, or a Dreadnought to actually shell that base from afar. And taking out two refineries, it hasn't really hurt USSR 2.0's economy all that once. He's still sitting at 9.2k average income. He is starting to double the total resources gathered of every other player in this match. Everyone else is staying relatively even. V1tam11n a little bit low, but everyone else around that mid-30 range, except USSR 2.0, who has doubled that at nearly 70k total resources gathered. I love the addition of Athena cannons. Vitamin is extremely weak economy-wise. Honestly, you got to see if you can steal this refinery. This is a dangerous location against a Soviet player because they're going to drop a Tesla coil up here and they're just going to kill you. But you have to do something to get past those 3 refineries. I mean, 3 refineries is good. Even killing this oil derrick, you know, at least you deny the income from your opponent. But you have to do something if you're the allied player to get off of those 3 refineries. As the game goes on, you are just going to be outmatched by these players who have more refineries than you. Although, since these water refineries haven't really been taken, Zorminator's income actually isn't doing as hot either. He got kicked out of that water location, and he has not been able to reestablish it. V4s from the high ground. Cyber is, or Yannick is putting a little bit of damage out on that Crusher crane. V4's also going for some kills on some static D here on the front line. But still, USSR 2.0, he's still got that top left-hand corner mostly on lock, mostly under his control. Engineer could just be sniped out of spite. Those Tengus just go for the snipe of an engineer who's going to capture an oil derrick that isn't theirs. Naval yard comes up. Zorminator might be going for that refinery location once again. We'll see if he's actually able to do anything. Strikers move forward. Point defense drones do help in these situations. One Athena cannon pays the price, though. And gonna walk himself back to those repair drones. He should make it. Just go over to the airfield. Well, I guess he won't make it. I don't know where he's going to, but bye-bye. And Terror Drone doesn't get another infect, but he will go down. Oh, well. Tengu going for the harass. A little bit of splash damage there from the twin blades, but at least the Tengu is dead. V4s are in range of this MCV. Putting a bit of damage down. And this naval yard forever trying to be constructed. Showing up and then not really being constructed. Battle bunker is here, and I guess it was empty? I'm not sure what was going on there, but they force it away, and USSR 2.0 is looking to take back over that area. His income has dropped a little bit there. Only down to 7.5k as the Mirage tanks move forward. APOC gets the lock, but it's going to be the twin blades that really clear everything up, and that is a massive shutdown of everything the Vitamin has. For GreenAlert comes in. Tengu's getting a couple of snipes there. Only loses 1 Tengu for the kill on those twin blades. APOC gets pushed forward. And if there were strikers here or something, that would be a great opportunity to jump on the APOC when it gets separated from its support units like that. Random twin blade flying over the middle of the map. It looks like it just got sniped. Just got cleaned up there. And, well, that APOC tank did end up going down. V4 is going to get jumped on. Tengu's going for the transform, going for the kill, and they will clean up both of those. Uh-oh, is that toxins coming in? These jabs might want to make their way somewhere else. And they will be able to take down a couple of these twin blades. They need to turn and fight. They're going to die regardless. The Apollos are here as well. Going to be able to shred a couple of the twin blades. And the Tengus come in for the hero pass. But they're going to get clipped. Their wings, no, they all escape. Bullfrogs were, I guess, a little too late. Kirov comes through, and that is not something we expect to see, but we love it when it happens. And Team Blue finding the strength to knock on the door of Team Red and knock down those expansions. Suddenly, USSR 2.0 is not looking so hot. That economy in the top left-hand corner gets knocked down, and the Bullfrogs are paying a heavy price in the bottom right-hand corner, but the Mirage tanks will all go down eventually. Those Mirages are not cheap, so if it's a 1-for-1 Bullfrogs and Mirages, well, the Soviet player is happy to make that trade any day of the week. And Tengus, slowly but surely, using their pea shooters to knock down a Dreadnought. Not something you see every day, not something you see very often. And the bottom right corner of the map has been chaotic, has been a difficult spot for every player involved. That MiG, it instantly gets deleted. A flak cannon is here, and the MiGs will sacrifice themselves, buying precious time for this Kirov to move on over and clear out that location. Blue has been able to avoid so many fights in this game. Cyber and Yannick have been building up. They've only got 60, 70k total resources gathered between the two of them. And, well, goodbye to Eureka. That was a nice sneaky Eureka attempt. Didn't quite work out. Does end up getting sniped there. But it was a nice attempt. Striker goes for the kill. Striker doesn't get the kill. Striker gets the kill. Look at that. Right on the edge there. And transforms just in time. Natasha is here in the middle of the map once again. The handful of games that I've seen Natasha, it has not worked out well for her. I mean, last game that we saw her, she got frozen as she's jumping out of the water and then sniped by a peacekeeper and just broken apart. But in the top right-hand corner, it's going to be Tanya going for the kill on that MCV. Sentry bombers are here as well, and Tanya is going to get a tier 3 Mecha Bay as well. Blue has found a place in the middle of the map and has found a way to strike out to the edges, to the corners of the map, and has been able to do some damage. MCV in a tier 3 war factory going down. That is no easy thing to do, and that is no easy thing to recover from. So GreenAlert has been gutted. He's maybe not done for, but he is done for in terms of unit production. I don't think he has any producing structures left on the map, so what you see is what you get. GreenAlert has 2,000 cash in the bank, and he can build harvesters, and that is it. So in basically one fell swoop, bye-bye Tanya. Nice attempt at the time belt, but like that's not going to work in that situation. This is not the campaign. But that was a pretty sick Tanya play, all things considered. By the way, Twin Blades going for a bit of damage there. And yeah, Tanya going for the kill. Just total carnage in the top right-hand corner of the map. Twin Blades getting cleaned up there in the middle. And that's pretty much it for GreenAlert. He's still in this game. He still has a role to play, kind of, I guess, in killing off blimps. But yeah, Blue has taken control of the top left-hand corner of the map. This is a good place for them to be. And one real reason for that is no one has attacked them. It started out Red was the one no one was attacking. Red climbing up to 115k total resources gathered. And then got taken over by Blue. And we'll see between Cyber and Yannick which one is actually able to really make the most use of this top left corner of the map. But for now, looks like it is going to be Yannick. He's got the expansion there. That's a lot of javs. Decent amount of peacekeepers as well. And one Kirov. Wow, so Blue kind of just coming through after mass chaos between Team Orange and Team Red Orange. Team Red Orange and Team Green. Mass chaos on the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Lots of team fighting going on there. Team Blue became the sleeper team, and they just swung through at the end of it all and just, you know, got the kills where it mattered. I mean, technically everyone is still in this game, so it is still anyone's game. A little bit of harassment coming in here. We could see GreenAlert be extremely careful with all of his remaining units. And I mean, this is a healthy number of strikers. And be extremely careful with his remaining units. And then rank them all up to heroic status and have like this extremely elite, well-controlled little group of units, or he might just fly over some IFVs and jabs and lose 2 of his Tengus. So there go 2/3 of his Tengus, but you know, that sort of stuff happens. GreenAlert has 9 units out on the map. This one refinery is the only thing keeping him in this game, or maybe he's got a power plant as well. Yeah, he's got a refinery and a power plant keeping him in this game. Another Kirov gets spotted and killed. Ooh, Natasha from the high ground could go for the snipe on some of these dreadnoughts. Truly a snipe. Bullfrogs getting eaten up. Not often do you see dreadnoughts kill units that can actually move, but it happens. Is this engineer going for the recovery? What is going on with this engineer? Hey, Twin Blade, are you going to turn around and snipe this guy? What? Blue, you're supposed to snipe the dreadnought first. All right, well, that happened. That was a goofy engineer moment for sure. So after all of that, Vitamin, his economy still not doing great. This is one of those things where GreenAlert is either planning on building up a big bank and then leaving the game and handing that all over to Vitamin. So then Vitamin has suddenly a giant cash infusion. But this fourth refinery could be potentially of use to Vitamin. So, well, we'll see. Wow. Well, the bottom left-hand corner of the map just got shredded there by Tanya, it looks like. Unfortunately, we don't have the rewind to be able to see that. Naval yard gets frozen. Tengu comes in for the kill. Gets the flak cannon and dies immediately. Doesn't actually get the naval yard. Flak cannon does go down, but nothing else there. And USSR 2.0, he's still got these 2 oil derricks churning away, making him money. But not much more going on than that. How the mighty have fallen. His income, once at nearly 10K, is now at plus 1.4K. So he has dropped dramatically, all things considered. Blue taking a beating from these dreadnoughts for several minutes now. Yannick has been struggling with the dreadnoughts of Zorminator. And it's one of those things where they can't get everything, but they can definitely keep you spinning in circles as you rebuild buildings that dreadnoughts annihilate time and time again, and you end up just wasting so many resources rebuilding stuff that you're never able to do what you really want. And Tanya gets found out, does try to time belt back to safety, and this will allow these Twin Blades to see these 2-3 Kirovs making their way towards land. First Kirov is taking damage. 3 Bullfrogs are here. They better stay out of the path of attack. They better make sure that they've got enough room to maneuver, because these Kirovs, they are coming and they're not going to stop moving. It's a big Twin Blade attack as well. Yannick putting his 150k total resources gathered to good use as he says, I'm coming here and I am moving in. Or maybe I'm not moving in. I just don't want you to live here anymore. And this is going to be the end of days for this expansion. 1 Kirov will go down here as the MCV gets sold off and more Bullfrogs get brought like lambs to the slaughter. They're hoping to clear up these Twin Blades, but the more shots they fire at the Kirovs, the more Twin Blades are able to kill these Bullfrogs. And the Kirovs haven't been stopped. Naval yards being targeted. Both of them will be sold off, and the Kirovs are running out of steam as one of them goes golden, the other goes double vet, and these Bullfrogs will eventually save the day, but not before the entire water expansion has been leveled. Sunk down to the ground. The Kirovs get eliminated. That's a lot of rocks and trees just hanging out next to that war factory. And you have to give it to Blue for going for the Kirovs, going for the big play there. You always enjoy seeing the Kirovs. You enjoy getting to see that kind of unit power. Flak cannon is close. Is this Miggs? Yep, this is Miggs. GreenAlert is going to find himself at the explosive end of a MiG. No, he's just going to be allowed to escape down to the south. Proton Collider and Chronosphere are here. Iron Curtain and Vacuum Imploder are present from Yannick. And then Iron Curtain from Zorminator as well. Cryogeddon fires off, finds himself a nice chunk of IFVs. And the barrage tanks are going to be able to blast them to pieces. Another engineer as well. Maybe it was destined for one of those oil derricks, but it's not going to be destined for anything anymore. As these Mirage tanks move in, they're going to pay the price. A couple of them will go down, but this corner of the map from blue might be completely annihilated here as GreenAlert and Vitamin clear out this expansion. War Factory still remains. MiG's going to be getting cleaned up here as those strikers shred them. Mirage tanks go for the stop. And it's going to be a toxin drop over there. Blue getting pushed out. And GreenAlert not really doing too much in this game, but still finding a way to be active with what units remain after being gutted earlier in this game. And I mean, a couple of these players have been nearly eliminated, but they're still here. All 6 are still fighting it out. And the strikers ranking up, every single one of them that ranks up, every time they get closer to heroic, it just makes them that much more valuable for GreenAlert. It increases what he's actually able to do. Sentry bombers looking for the run. Maybe they go for the War Factory, or they go for the MCV, but it's going to be Tanya. It's going to be the Tanya play once again. Mirage tanks are here, but it just doesn't matter. Tanya gets the MCV, and the Sentry Bombers, guess what? They've still got bombs. Cryogeddon fires off, and it's going to be the Sentry Bombers looking to break it apart. The MCV goes down, the War Factory goes down, and the Sentry Bombers escape. Cyber bringing the plays. The Tanya plays for the entertainment, and the Sentry Bombers for the big boom. Athena Cannon dodges the rockets. Dodge might be kind of a generous term there. Well, especially now. And USSR 2.0 still surviving. Once the big dog of this game, now just a little puppy yapping in the corner, but still allowed to keep this oil derrick. No one has taken that oil derrick away. I mean, the other 2 oil derricks have been claimed. One of them did get cleaned up, but that one in the corner, for whatever reason, that one hasn't been touched. Vitamin and GreenAlert, still some strength left in that team. They've done an amazing amount for honestly not gathering very much money, for being the weakest team economically. They have been able to do a good amount of damage, and nice control of those strikers there. Nice peel back, and it's going to be a Cryogeddon on top of these forces, so flak cannons are nice, but when they're frozen in place, they don't really do anyone any good. Mirage tanks show up, and it's going to be maybe a toxin drop. No, it's going to be a vacuum imploder. He misses those twin blades, but he gets basically everything else. I love that Tesla coil shot coming in as the units are in the vacuum imploder. That Tesla coil is just like, hey, I went in on some of the action as well. Can I get a little piece of that? And it's like, all right, I guess you can. But vacuum imploder fires off. Our first big super weapon usage of the game. Looks like we got about minute 45 until the Proton Collider. And then it looks like Zorminator has been able to get his own super weapons up and running as well. Iron Curtain's ready to go, but we haven't seen them be used to much effect. If they have been used, it's been sort of off camera. This is one place that you could use an Iron Curtain, and I suspect we will see these APOC tanks. Actually, no, they're getting not dropped off anywhere. Coming back home. War Factory and MCV. Another Tanya drop. Another Tanya drop. One Sentry Bomber remains. Or is this the Tanya? Hey, there's the Tanya Sentry Bomber. We've seen this play. Oh, and she gets sniped immediately. Okay, well, not so lucky on that one. Okay, now the APOC tanks might find themselves Iron Curtained. Or maybe not. I guess maybe he doesn't even need the Iron Curtain. Oh, there we go. And Zorminator is going to use the Iron Curtain to save his vacuum imploder. And that is what happens if you try to magnetic harpoon an Iron Curtained building. It just, the beam appears for a moment and then it disappears. And Iron Curtain is now going to be on these APOC tanks, so they can just grind their way through the wall. And it's like, once they get inside the wall, you can't do anything to stop them. They've got the Iron Curtain. Twin Blades are going to be able to clean up these APOC tanks, but Twin Blades do not kill APOC tanks particularly fast. No, snipe one of the APOCs! Natasha is in that Bullfrog, so she can't insta-kill one of the APOCs, and the Twin Blades should be focusing the other one. And, well, it doesn't even matter. Vacuum Imploder goes down. Meanwhile, in the top left-hand corner of the map, it's gonna be green fighting somebody. I guess green fighting no one. It's already been resolved. Both of the APOCs go down, and one of them does get claimed by Zorminator. So he gets himself kind of a free APOC tank. He had to pay a Vacuum Imploder price for it, but he gets himself an APOC tank. And look at this. Vitamin, the big recovery, taking over from everyone else, but taking over this top left-hand corner of the map, and now with a double refinery here. Unfortunately, one harvester not working, but Vitamin's income now sitting at 7.5k average. He is now the leader, once the worst performing economically of the group, now the #1 player in this 2v2v2v2. Cryogeddon comes in. Who's going for the kill? Oh, it's going to be the Strikers. There's still one flak cannon here, and the Strikers get the kill, and then back on off. Look at that. One heroic, two single vet, one double vet. And yeah, GreenAlert just being very careful. He's only got a couple of units here, so he wants to make them last as long as possible. And as we cross the 30-minute mark, I'm not so sure that there's going to be a quick resolution to this game. There's definitely been a lot of action. Like, you have to give it to that. Sometimes these longer 2v2v2 matches on Carville will sort of have some entertainment value, but ultimately not really follow through on the kills per minute metric, which is not something we track, but, you know. They have some entertaining moments, but maybe some long gaps of nothing in between. And this game has been pretty consistent with the action. There might be an angle over here where they're out of range. Okay, no, they found it just like slightly to the left of where they already were. And then this flak cannon can get jumped on. And this is great for GreenAlert. Every kill he gets is another rank up on these Strikers. And then look at that, he might get a little bit more from there as well. There's going to be the transform, and the Strikers just stomp their way out, and they just say, all right, we're gone. It is, I think, down to just 4 Strikers, though, down from the original 6 or 7 that he had. GreenAlert's army diminishing, not quite minute by minute, but over time. Chronosphere, it looks like, has been used a couple of times, and I've completely missed it every time that it has been used. Yeah, I was not paying attention. Sentry bombers, one of them does get sniped. It looks like the other one will be able to escape, at least for now. Dreadnoughts, they were once big on shelling the island. What was that? Who sniped that? Okay, it must have been this Natasha over here. I was very confused as to why this Natasha sniped their own Bullfrog. This might be a free MCV? Okay, Iron Curtain on the MCV, there we go. Bullfrogs? Oh, that's this flak cannon over here. Bullfrogs over there on the left side of the map. Dreadnoughts facing off against Dreadnoughts. But guess what? 2 beats 1. And there is going to be Zorminator selling off or losing his Iron Curtain and his Vacuum Imploder. The Tanya damage never stops, and we don't want it to, as she cleans up 2 super reactors, sending Zorminator into low power mode, but she gets sniped by the seemingly infinite twin blades of USSR 2.0. And man, these Tanya plays have been relentless, and they have been some of the best Tanya plays in terms of value per drop. I feel like we have seen more value gotten from these Tanyas than just about any, from, you know, basically any game that I remember seeing. Those super reactors just getting lit up by this Tanya. Terror drone gets the infect on a dreadnought. Is there a... Oh, there's a crusher crane here, so we can get the repair. We'll keep an eye on that dreadnought, see if it suddenly expires. Chronosphere is ready to go once again. V4 is going to be clearing out this refinery over here. It looks like someone just sniped a Natasha. Oh, and a vacuum imploder just sank that ship. We clicked over to the other side of the map and we missed the vacuum imploder landing, courtesy of Yannick. He clears out pretty much most of the naval forces here, but not the MiGs. The MiGs show up. They're going to find themselves a couple of tasty twin blades. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Sentry bombers, however, are a little bit tougher to take down. Okay, Crusher Crane gets sold off. MCV gets chronosphered somewhere into the middle of the island, and that is perfect. I love that move. Natasha goes, Natasha goes for the snipe. Are you kidding me? Grab it, yeah! MCV for free. Now that is a great move. That MCV cost almost nothing, and that is a victory lap kind of move. Team Blue feeling good. And by the way, it looks like we missed it in all the action, but Vitamin disappeared and handed everything over to GreenAlert. I'm going to go ahead and say GreenAlert is the better player of the two of them, and so Vitamin and GreenAlert kind of made a bit of a strategic move, and now GreenAlert, who is Empire but is now functionally allied, you know, when you don't count the 3 strikers that he's got left over. So, you know, his tag is maybe a little bit incorrect now. But it is GreenAlert with a pretty massive bank, all things considered. I can't see how much is the total resources gathered between the two teams. But he basically just got gifted a huge amount of infrastructure. And now his income, even though we are, you know, 35 minutes into the game, super late in this match, his income is actually looking pretty good at 5.6K. He is leading the pack. The 5 remaining players, he is the #1 player, and Blue is going to be losing another MCV. Gets a Soviet MCV for free. Well, that's good, because he just lost one of his original MCVs, maybe. One of the ones that were actually under his control and not a sniped MCV. Which, that was a pretty amazing move. Get your opponent to back up their MCV, and then teleport their MCV onto the island, snipe it with Natasha, and capture it with a conscript. A delightful combination of plays there. Athena Gannons from the high ground. Team Blue, they were looking pretty hot, but are they going to be doing the thing where you fight 2 enemies at once? For the current moment, they are. And it's the brightest green in the universe. We need HDR just to see how bright that green is. And Tanya comes in once again. We can never get away from her, but Natasha gets the snipe. Natasha gets the kill. And Natasha and Tanya, they have finally resolved their differences. And as it turns out, Natasha wins. Sniper rifle beats out hand-to-hand combat. Wouldn't you believe it? I mean, if Tanya was using her guns and she was in range, I don't know. But actually, yeah, that would be interesting. I've never really seen a Natasha and a Tanya snipe. I wasn't sure if that Tanya was at full health and Natasha sniped her from full health or not, but another chronosphere usage. No idea what or where, but something somewhere. APOC tank making its way over. We'll take a look at that Natasha Tanya snipe or something. There's the Tanya, and well, the APOC tank ended up getting sniped as well. Natasha running away there. These Athena cannons, they have been a little bit neglected, you know, for the first 35 minutes of this game. And now they're everyone's favorite unit, it seems, just blasting away at all of this built-up infrastructure. 4 harvesters just glitching out on each other. All of this built-up infrastructure that's been deployed all over the map, and now these Athena cannons are essentially ranking up off of all of these buildings. Double vet for that Athena cannon, double vet for this Athena cannon, goes heroic off of the harvester. It's just like all of this loose cash, basically, that's laying around and waiting to be gathered by these units for rank ups. Tower drone goes down, Bullfrog gets eliminated, and Athena cannon. This one's heroic as well. How many heroic Athena cannons are out here on the map? And they seemingly are all under the control of GreenAlert, who has sort of risen from the ashes of Vitamin, been given a second lease on life, been allowed to emerge from the dead, come back from the grave. Is this going to be a satellite drop on nothing now? Yeah, there used to be stuff there, but now that satellite just crashes into the water for nothing. Tanya gets deployed into the top left-hand corner of the map. GreenAlert, I think, saw this. So, I don't know, Mirage tank or something could go for the kill here. Sentry bombers are going to bomb her? Not something you see very often, but okay, they go for the knockdown. What just happened? I don't know. Oh, the vacuum imploder caught all of that stuff. I could hear it, but I didn't actually see where it was. Cryogeddon. GreenAlert starting to feel the icy cold from Team Blue. Iron Curtain perfectly timed there as the Sentry Bombers drop their bombs. The Apollos will go for the shred. That Sentry Bomber, he was on the deck, but it just doesn't matter. He has nowhere to call home. V4 going for the kill, and the APOC tank just running something over there. Toxins once again getting dropped. I think that's a double toxin drop from USSR 2.0 and Zorminator. If they do the double tier 3 toxin drop, I think it just kills the harvester over time. APOC tank healing up. He's getting shot by that Peacekeeper. And, well, goodbye one refinery. Goodbye War Factory, goodbye other refinery, goodbye double airfield that was in this location. It is not going well for GreenAlert. This Tanya drop combo with the APOC tank Iron Curtain, you know, it's a build. It's a build. It's not a very well-known build, but the 42-minute Tanya drop Iron Curtain APOC tank, that's, you know, it's a popular build in some circles. Sentry bombers crashing down to the sky, crashing down to the ground from the sky. And this APOC tank has gone golden. He's going to be grinding his way through this building, turning it into mincemeat. And hey, the Striker's going to show up, and it's a V4 and an APOC tank, so not a lot there. One heroic Striker, and Chronosphere utilized once again. The first time we've actually really seen it there. And the MCV is like, oh, actually, I thought there were going to be some other people here and not just heroic Strikers, which do so much damage. That's 2 heroic Strikers as well. And he's just going to go for it. He gets the kill on that multi-gunner turret, and the heroic Strikers believe that they can do anything because they can. Cash back for Yannick. It's a nice benefit when you lose an MCV like that, but that is a consolation prize for sure. And as we cross the 43-minute mark, I have no idea who's going to win this game. Honestly, it could be anyone. We're so late in the game that almost all of the refineries are now depleted, and so the income per minute is pretty low, even for the players who have a lot of refineries under their control. Okay, 14K in that one. You know, a couple thousand credits here or there. Terror Drone gets the infect on this Dreadnought. And let's just remember those Striker VXs. They truly can do anything that they put their minds to. it. And it is the race of the Crusher Crane and the Terror Drone, and it looks like the Terror Drone is going to be winning that race, as that Dreadnought will go down. And I guess this Terror Drone is going to rank up. He goes heroic, and he gets instantly sniped. Well, he had a good life. Team Blue, they are loving these Sentry Bombers. There's Tanya once again moving in. She's got a lot of IFVs attacking her, but once she's on the ground, the IFVs don't really do all that much. There's the sell-off. MCV is very close by, and Tanya gets knocked down. Tanya gets knocked out! No MCV for you, Tanya. It is a snipe and a kill, I think mostly courtesy of that Athena cannon. The Peacekeeper does something, because the Peacekeeper with that knockback from the shotgun does have a little bit of a kill potential there, but that Athena cannon sealed the deal. All right, GreenAlert. He's at 2.3K, but Zorminator is at the best income of anyone right now, 3.2K. Where is that coming from? He's got 2 refineries there and 1 refinery over there, but it's really just the fact that he's got 5 grand and depleted. So it's 2 depleted refineries, 1 working refinery, which is making up for the fact that he's got 2 depleted refineries and an oil derrick. And as it turns out, when you're 45 minutes into a game, that is actually the best income per minute of anyone in the game. Blue Yannick, Proton Collider just fired off. Here it is, bottom corner of the bottom side of the map. Gets himself a tier 3, gets himself a 2 tier 3s actually. Gets himself an airfield as well. Super reactors don't take a lot of damage, but it looks like a vacuum imploder got cleaned up there recently as well. Just so much action over the course of this game. And the Dreadnoughts just do not stop. Zorminator has built so many Dreadnoughts over the course of this game. They've been sniped, they've been terror droned, they've been vacuum imploded. They have been shot up basically every way that you can imagine in Red Alert 3. And the bear is going for the capture. So when you think of this Dreadnought, just imagine a bear. And Magnetic Singularity is going to kill Tanya. But imagine a bear is at the controls giving the orders to launch those rockets. And the Chronosphere gets him! And that is a delightful Chronosphere usage for sure. Engineer gets deployed there. So the Engineer does get saved, but it doesn't actually buy enough time for the Twin Blade to be saved. And instead, the Bullfrogs will get full retribution for the kill of that Twin Blade. And that is going to be full payback as those Bullfrogs slice and dice those MiGs. Apollo's coming through. Pretty massive Twin Blade army is here for Team Red. And we got close to getting that actual Chronosphere usage, but just not quite in the replay there. All right, well, suddenly, Zorminator, he's looking fantastic with these 2 refineries. I mean, they've got 35,000 basically between the 2 of them. So that's looking real good for Zorminator. And the Harvester goes down. Yannick has been having a tough time with that income. Not a lot of refineries, and they're pretty much all depleted. This is one that he hasn't been able to keep running for very much of the game. A lot of not mining going on over there. Little groups of Twin Blades moving around the map, looking for those kills, and they're gonna get a nasty surprise if they hang out too much longer in that corner of the map. Bullfrogs catching the Sentry Bombers, and Tanya's gonna go down. No, she lands on the high ground, only to be sniped by the Twin Blades. And that is what it looks like when Tanya time belts into the sky. All of the Bullfrogs go down, and cash back will be had by one of the Soviet players. But too bad. All of those Bullfrogs do go down. Satellite drops. Looks like cleans up a couple of power plants there. And once again, the refinery goes down. You just cannot keep that refinery active. And these strikers still here so late in the game. Is this a big infantry push? I mean, it would be very funny if 4 Riptides just showed up to a fight. MiG gets slaughtered. And yeah, 4 Riptides and that's it. And it's just like, hey, what's going on here? It's going to be a big infantry attack. Cryogeddon fires off. A decent chunk of the infantry will get caught in the middle, and the precision bomber trying to predict the movements, but not quite finding it perfect. Multi-gunner turret is here. 1 Riptide did go down. The rest of the units are going to be coming unthawed in a couple of moments. Apollos show up, and they are guarding carefully as the strikers bring down 1 refinery, bring down 1 harvester, but it's going to be the super reactors, the Iron Curtain, and the vacuum imploder, wherever that is, that are the real targets if they can be found. Tanya shows up. She's using those guns for the first time in this game, and the magnetic singularity is going to be finishing off the rest of those units. The attack did something, but it didn't crack the base wide open. It didn't bring down the walls. It did open up a spot, and if the assault can keep going, maybe more damage can be done, but it's going to be called off. They're going to be sent home. Gets 1 super reactor. Iron Curtain, vacuum imploder, 3 more super reactors are all close by. And honestly, GreenAlert, if Tanya dropped here, there is a possibility. Okay, maybe not with Natasha there. Maybe you have to Tanya drop up here and get this vacuum imploder and then try to chain into the other buildings. But honestly, take a page out of Blue's book and go for the Tanya drop there. Airfield gets cleaned up, I think, and strikers. This is a nice combination. The Peacekeepers absorb the damage from the multi-gunner turret, and then the strikers show up to quickly annihilate that multi-gunner turret. And 2 heroic strikers just do so much damage to buildings, or really any ground target that isn't infantry. They just do that massive damage. They have such a high rate of fire. And blue team, double blue team, is starting to get chipped away at from 2 sides at once. Green and orange-red. Are they just going to go for the suicide on this proton collider? There's a lot of twin blades hanging out and only 15 seconds on the clock for that proton collider. Twin blades could swing in there. They might not even need to. It's a race against time, but the Dreadnought will win that race with 1 more shot, and he gets it right as everything comes raining down on that Dreadnought. He goes heroic. The satellite will miss, and he claims 1 bullfrog. Look at this 1 Dreadnought. He is dodging stuff left and right. What's coming in over here? It's going to be toxins. Badger bombers are like, get out of here. And the Dreadnought is like, I'm just going to hang out right over here, and I'm going to be happy, be by myself. Can't drop Tanya over water, unfortunately for you, Blue. And, well, Sentry bombers will drop a couple of bombs, but get chased down by the MiGs. A couple of these MiGs are heroic, 1 of them, in fact, and they're going to have to peel off there as the flak cannon is protecting, and Natasha takes a little bit of damage there. An entire airplane crashes down upon her, and she is not all that interested. She's like, yeah, it's bad, but it's not that bad. Cryogeddon plus a time bomb. Dreadnought escapes barely. Are you kidding? No! Barely not. Okay, well. Dreadnought almost escaped. Who's going to kill it? Is anyone going to kill it? The time bomb gets frozen. Okay, Natasha's coming out. And snipe. There we go. Fully heroic Dreadnought for anyone to grab. Now a neutral feature of the map. Honestly, Natasha might just swing out there. And that time bomb was not close enough to the Dreadnought to actually get the kill. Couple more Dreadnoughts. Zorminator, putting that cash to good use. Maybe not great use. We'll see if he's able to keep this alive. GreenAlert starting to push in. He's got a pretty heavy allied army. What is that? Satellite? Ooh, toxins coming in. But it is going to be the Athena cannon that gets grabbed and crushed by that APOC. Zorminator putting this cash to work. You know, he's been very active with these units. Dreadnoughts need to get on out of there, but they will land a couple of shots as those Mirage tanks move in to get the kill, and maybe even get a couple of shots on exit. All right, no kills. Dreadnoughts, they try their best. Guys, come on. They try their best. They're firing their shots. They miss by a mile, but they try. They really do try. Strikers coming forward. Oh, bullfrogs are too close. I think the strikers could take them. 4 bullfrogs. That would be sad if they just committed into the attack and died basically for nothing after surviving so long in this game. Where are you going? Where are these strikers going? What is their plan? Vacuum imploder firing off somewhere out on the map. It looks like it will be down here, trying to clear out this section of the map. He will do some massive damage to the vacuum imploder that has less than a minute on the clock. But what is the follow-up attack going to be? That's the real question. You got to do something. Okay, it's going to be the time bomb. It's going to be the time bomb combo for this. And let's go ahead and make it pretty. There we go. Gets the vacuum imploder. Yeah. Oh, and the MCV gets grabbed. The magnetic harpoon. GreenAlert, I'm sure, has a couple more of those, but he doesn't have a lot of cash in the bank. And he's unfortunately going to have to rebuild his MCV. This entire section of the map under siege from those APOC tanks. Toxins coming in on top of the harvesters. The Dreadnoughts from Zorminator have done so much this game. Natasha gets eliminated by the Iron Curtain. Not something we see very often, but it does indeed happen. And the Bullfrog's trying to respond. Zorminator loses one of the Dreadnoughts. The other two will be frozen in place. He does not move them in time. And that is the perhaps last rocket fired by those Dreadnoughts. And it's just not enough. Twin Blade coming in for the kill. And goodbye to those Dreadnoughts. Insta-snipe there. Double vet for that Twin Blade. Nicely done. And hey, this late in the game, that kind of stuff can indeed happen. You lose a couple of units, basically to nothing. And, well, that's the curse of the big late game unit. They're big and they're powerful, but they also have a big target painted on their back. And I still feel like anyone could take this game. GreenAlert has been looking a little bit weak in the last couple of minutes, but his income is also the strongest amongst everyone. And he's at plus 4K right now. The incomes haven't totally exploded. There isn't like one player with 500K under their belt. Everyone is relatively close to each other, all things considered. But it's one of those things that this late in the game, most of the total income gathered has been already blown up. And so the amount of money that each player has to work with is extremely minor. Magnetic Singularity getting called in here, and that will freeze these Dreadnoughts in place, and I guess allow some time for the MiGs to show up and clean up that Twin Blade. Terror Drones, on the other hand, the Crusher Crane is actually there in time. Unlike earlier, where the Dreadnought ended up dying before the Crusher Crane could save it. And hey, Crusher Crane is just a useful building to have in general. GreenAlert is going to have to defend against a potential Soviet attack, or maybe it'll just be the satellites dropping. Yeah, double satellite drop, USSR 2.0 and Zorminator going to be looking to clean up some of this build radius, clean up this refinery and expansion location. Refineries take some big damage. Hammer tanks are here. They're going to be going to town against these IFVs, and they say, see you later. We are out of here. GreenAlert has had decent control of this top side of the map, but can he stand up against the other two teams? Iron Curtains are both ready to go. Could be used to save those bullfrogs. Oh, misplaces the refinery, but corrects it. Doesn't place it down, and then, you know, have to live with that choice. Able to cancel it and fix it right there. This game definitely slowing down a bit. So we will fast forward a bit. What's up?
I wanted to watch you.
Oh, okay. You can hang it out. Oh, vacuum imploder is ready. Toxins coming in. Dreadnoughts will get caught, at least one of them, and sells off the refineries, looking for a little bit of cash back. But there's still $7 grand left in that refinery, so rebuilding those refineries will still be worth it. GreenAlert is starting to be imposed upon by Zorminator. Zorminator making his way to the north. He's got his APOC army, and he is crushing it forward. 15 seconds on the next vacuum imploder. As these APOC tanks move forward, looks like GreenAlert is going to have to just give up this top right-hand corner of the map. He will not be able to hold on to it, and that prospector just running for the hills. He's like, I am out of here. I can't fight against 5 APOC tanks, 2 of them that are heroic. Orange calls in a vacuum imploder. He's on top of the tier 3. He will get one of them, and he will get the other. Gets both tier 3s, and a couple of power plants as well. It will be one of those things that you just have to pay that price and then rebuild them. I am sad that we have not seen any Kirovs in a while. USSR 2.0 throwing down a bunch of beacons. I have to imagine it is these cryocopters. Apollos are here, but so are the bullfrogs, and the MiGs are showing up, but bullfrogs and MiGs are going to be an easy match for those cryocopters and Apollos. The MCV goes down, and GreenAlert is going to try and make this fight. Now that he's got IFVs here, he actually can contend the air battle. MiG's going to be taking some massive damage, and he can't fight the APOCs 1v1, but he's going to try and chip away at them with what forces he has. Magnetic Harpoon does not get activated, and these APOC tanks just literally can't close the distance. Huge amount of Aegis shields get popped to save everything else. And it's going to be a hold by GreenAlert. He loses the top right-hand corner of the map, but he's able to hold on to everything else. Twin Blades clear out that building. Dreadnought gets a couple of rockets off. Cryocopters, Cryoshock fires off. Bullfrog's going to be pushing away those Twin Blades. And Yannick getting the snipe on a Dreadnought, and then getting the recovery of that Dreadnought. Time Bomb comes in as well. I don't think it'll get that Harvester. Oh, it thawed regardless. And Natasha is on standby as well. Dreadnoughts, nope. V4 on the land, gets the cleanup there, and that is the last Empire building. It lasted 1 hour into the game. GreenAlert is still in this game, but his last Empire structure has fallen. Unfortunately for Green Alert, the last vestiges of his Empire origins, it looks like, have pretty much disappeared. Satellite's going to be getting called in on this location, and well, might as well get get rid of one of the refineries, and the other one will take some massive damage from this satellite. Harvester goes down. Just so much damage taken by every player. And Green Alert has this little quadrant, this top left-hand corner of the map. He hasn't taken a lot of super weapons, so he hasn't had to do a ton of rebuilding. He's just been slowly building up. And again, Green Alert has, for a long time, had the best income per minute of any player in this game. He's basically doubling the next closest player in terms of income per minute. Iron Curtain, run for your lives. Is that going to be a magnetic singularity? No, it's going to be toxins coming in. Magnetic singularity will be there. Toxin's going to be doing some damage. Magnetic harpoon catches one of the Athenas. And, well, you hope that Iron Curtain wears off before the toxins take down this Athena, but it just won't happen. And now the Athena cannons can actually chew through those APOC tanks, and they're driving through the toxins as well, but this APOC will make short work of that Athena. Twin Blade shows up. IFV versus the Twin Blade. Aegis shield pops, and that's going to keep that IFV safe for now, but it won't last forever as that Athena goes down and the Twin Blades all explode. The Mirage tank runs away from that APOC, and he's going to give chase down to the southern half of the map. Vacuum Imploder once again ready to go. A lot of potential targets, but sometimes that Vacuum Imploder is good to use on the to use an army. Good to use on an army. Not that there are necessarily a lot of big armies to use it on in this case. And it's going to be a Vacuum Imploder basically used for this ore mine to deny that income from your opponent. And the IFV has chased these Twin Blades all the way down. Go for the snipe, go for the snipe. There we go. IFV gets sniped, and Mirage got sniped as well, so bye-bye to those two allied units. Harvesters getting worked away at. Those Twin Blades taking some damage. And Magnetic Singularity and Toxins will fire off there. Gonna be chasing them away. Vacuum Imploder lands. Once again on Team Blue. Iron Curtain finally eliminated. Green Alert a long time ago tried to invade the island there and wasn't able to clear out that spot, but as it turns out, a couple of Vacuum Imploders can indeed do that. The Soviet players fighting each other. I mean, I guess Cyber is also in this game, but Cyber hasn't done anything. It's been a while since the last Tanya drop. Ooh, a Spy and a Tanya drop, but he doesn't have anything queued up on that airfield. Cyber does have 1,800 in the bank, so I mean, he could, you know, he's got a little bit of income. He could get a, another Sentry Bomber. Drop a Spy and a Tanya out on the map. Athena Cannon will snipe that Mirage tank. And Athena Cannon going to be going for the snipe on the Natasha, but it's going to be the Cryocopter, which really secures the kill there. And I feel like you should kill Natasha and then deal with the APOC tank together. Maybe shrink down that APOC tank. Ooh, Toxins coming in. Or Magnetic Singularity to hold them in place so the APOC can close the distance. And yep, that APOC is like, I am happy to fight this one out gun to gun. Green Alert loses 2 more Athena cannons. And I mean, if this Cryocopter has enough time, he will eventually freeze down that APOC. And the Peacekeeper, oh, the Peacekeeper goes down! The Cryocopters will go for the Shrink and go for the Freeze. Iron Curtain will keep those Bullfrogs alive, but will they actually get any kills? They can chase the Cryocopters, basically move as fast as the Cryos. And Yannick gets a couple of infects on these bullfrogs. These terror drones go into town, cleaning up bullfrog after bullfrog. And this is so many terror drones that they actually will. Where did that... Where did that Tanya come from? That was pretty goofy. And I love that this hammer tank has picked up a Tesla weapon, which I'm not even sure. I guess you get that by killing a Tesla tower? A Tesla coil? I don't know that I've ever seen that before, because I guess you could get that from a Tesla tank, but those aren't in multiplayer. So that is oh, we got it from the Stingray. Knock 705 coming through. I was trying to think, I was like, is there something in the game where like the devs put it in that if a hammer tank leeches a stealing cash from your opponent, the spy comes in there to get the espionage move on that refinery. Knock 705 coming in and dropping the knowledge. Yeah, I saw that Tesla weapon and I was like, maybe there's like a Easter egg from the devs. They wanted to kind of sneak in a Tesla tank into multiplayer. That was my thought, is that maybe they have like an Easter egg essentially way to get a Tesla tank into multiplayer. But no, you're right. Stingray has the actual weapon. One random twin blade just chasing down terror drones in the base of Zorminator. And Tanya gets dropped, cleans up an MCV, goes for the refinery as well. And this might be a magnetic singularity on top of Tanya to get the kill, but the terror drone gets the real kill on Tanya, and then it is going to be the toxins on top of that. So you want to kill the Tanya, but it does happen via a terror drone. GreenAlert unknowingly might be putting a little bit too much pressure on red and orange. Vacuum imploder is ready to go as well. I think red and orange is about to get double punched out of this game, and they just don't quite know it. Vacuum imploder could be on top of some infrastructure, could be on top of some units. You know, I'm thinking this double war factory airfield location, especially if you have a satellite drop to follow it up just to make sure everything's dead. Could be big. Athena cannon will get the super reactor. Bye-bye, super reactor. And yeah, GreenAlert has cleaned out that bottom left-hand corner of the map, but it was sort of with the help, unknowingly, of Team Blue. Cyber and Yannick from the middle of the map, bringing some plays, making the attacks happen with the Tanya drop. And that definitely distracted and weakened USSR 2.0 and Zorminator. And then the result is GreenAlert just gets to move into that corner, find an opening, find a weakness. And have they just abandoned ship? We're seeing some movement up to towards the top right-hand corner of the map, and obviously they know about GreenAlert. He's been moving around that edge of the map, so they know what's coming. Oh, I missed another vacuum imploder. I have no idea where he must have dropped it on green? I have no idea where he dropped that vacuum imploder. It wasn't where I thought he might. Oh well. Cryocopters showing up, and I guess they're just going to back off. Less than 15 seconds on the clock until this next vacuum imploder is ready to go. And always funny to see a twin blade lifting an APOC tank. And well, I think this APOC tank is also looking for an Iron Curtain safety net. We'll see if he gets it. Oh, no! No, are you kidding me? Oh, and the MiG doesn't commit into the attack. That was almost a moment. Vacuum imploder ready to go. Cleans up the refinery. Big damage on the naval yard. No, doesn't actually get the refinery. Barely doesn't get the refinery. Smashes into the water. and, you know, doesn't quite clean up the buildings. Natasha gets killed off there. Bomber does not get called in, so the IFV gets to survive. And this APOC tank running away from these IFVs is like, no, no, I don't want to die. Ultra torpedoes firing off. Akula subs will be fighting each other over there on the water. And Iron Curtain misses. Whose Iron Curtain was that? Oh, I guess the Akula subs were under the water, just far enough away from the surface that that the Iron Curtain did not work on them. Big thanks, Nox, for the bits as well, as that satellite crashes into the ground. And bye-bye to that expansion. Vacuum imploder and a satellite in combination. A nice touch there. And the Terror Drone survives. Always a bit of a gamble. You try to kill your own unit so that the Terror Drone dies with it. And instead, the Terror Drone survives. MCV getting infected by the spy. MiGs trading it out. Low power mode once again. And still 5 players active in this game. GreenAlert taking over this corner of the map. GreenAlert trying to increase that income. USSR 2.0 zeroed out on income. Does USSR 2.0 truly have anything? Yeah. So ever since GreenAlert took over that corner of the map, USSR 2.0 has had no active income. And maybe no MCV either? Oh, I didn't even realize how dead USSR 2.0 is. He has a barracks and he has a satellite coming in. He has a barracks and a war factory, but he doesn't have enough income to really get anything done. So USSR 2.0, after gathering 192k over the course of this game, has found himself with nothing really to show for it. The one thing I forgot to refresh in OBS was the game clock. I didn't realize that had been missing this entire time. Cryogeddon going to be catching all of these bullfrogs, and I may have been off a little bit in my prediction that Team Red and Orange might be getting punched out of this game. But USSR 2.0 has now been defeated, and the time bomb is going to be coming in here to clean up these forces, although they may thaw, and they don't. Wouldn't that have been amazing if they thought 1 second before? I'm not sure if a level 1 time bomb will kill bullfrogs. I think the barracks would have survived, but the bullfrogs may have still gone down regardless. And now, there are 4. Zorminator versus GreenAlert versus Cyber and Yannick. The only 2-player team left in the game. And always a delight to see a magnetic harpoon bring a boat to land. Oh! An even rarer thing. He gets the perfect angle on that and gets the kill. Normally they just crash onto the ground like that. That's what we expect to see. But that was perfect. That APOC tank got the kill on that dreadnought, but only because he found the perfect angle to grind it down. That's actually kind of perfect. That's like that's the even more rare occurrence that we didn't know we wanted to see. Iron Curtain is ready. Vacuum Imploder is ready. Second Iron Curtain is ready. Zorminator and Yannick, once again, the super weapon users of this game. And GreenAlert has just been slowly but surely taking over the entire outside of the map. Tanya, no, it's going to be a spy drop to take the power down. Power offline. And 1-2 punch. I kind of thought the vacuum imploder was going to follow that up, but just a power outage. Just a power outage for a minute. Twin Blade comes through. Engineer? Oh, he is predicting something on top of that vacuum imploder, so he calls in the magnetic singularity, and it is going to be an engineer, which stops the terror drone, and the engineer goes. He would have gotten that iron curtain, and instead he gets back inside. He gets back inside. Is he going to go for this super reactor? Oh my gosh, Yannick with the hero engineer. This guy is doing more than anyone else in this game. Are you kidding me? That super engineer. That was an amazing set of events leading to that moment. And now the MCV is going to be going for the capture. He gets his own super reactor back. But man, that hero engineer. He just dodged just about everything that you could imagine to make that play. Dodging V4 shots, that terror drone getting drawn in by the magnetic singularity. So instead of the magnetic singularity stopping that attack from happening, it essentially enabled that attack to happen. Vacuum imploder catches the MCV, misses the Mirage tanks, and destroys that MCV instead. Blue. That was a blue on blue as these Mirage tanks dodge a vacuum imploder shot and instead will find their way pretty deep onto enemy territory. Apollo's getting shredded here as these cryocopters pay the price as well, and the Mirage tanks just don't care. They're happy to blast units one by one, and these bullfrogs just rank up, I imagine, infinitely by tearing apart that entire allied air armada. And the Mirage tanks will eventually go down. The Twin Blades will get the kills there. And that's going to be it. Bye-bye to those Mirage tanks. 1 MiG. A lot of IFVs. Terror drone gets the infect. Okay. So at some point, an engineer dropped into that location. I guess that Riptide just dropped one off. Is he planning on doing anything with this? Or is this gonna sit there for a minute? He gets a barracks. The invasion has started. Vacuum imploder time once again. Maybe it won't be Zorminator and USSR 2.0 who are the first ones eliminated. Maybe it'll be GreenAlert just capturing the entire base. Building by building. Is he about to go for the three-peat or the triple play? Allies, Soviets, and Empire. One player who now has 2 Soviet super weapons, a Soviet super reactor, an Allied MCV, and started the game as Empire. I love the multi-gunner turret as well. If he goes for the War Factory and gets it, okay, he's gonna have to sell everything off. But it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. You have to give it to GreenAlert for putting on the plays, the sneaky engineer plays. Hello to Dutch Army, and an iron curtain on top of the multi-gunner turret before he sells everything off. The multi-gunner turret gets the kill on the War Factory and the barracks because it's iron curtained. This guy is in full goofball mode. He is going for the silly factor, perhaps above everything else. Yannick does actually have 10K in the bank, so Yannick can rebuild his super weapons and an airfield and still have a little bit of cash left over. His income has honestly been pretty good this whole game. He's been in this depleted stage. He's been sitting around like 2.5, 3K income. And that's, you know, obviously it's not good if you're in the prime part of the game before the resources are depleted. But that's pretty good this late in the game. And look at this, walls. We are learning from our mistakes. Tanya and engineers can be defeated by walls. GreenAlert, though, still almost, you know, not quite double, but he's approaching 4K income over 2 minutes, so he's sort of dwarfing what everyone else has. MCV coming in. A couple of terror drones as well. Zorminator is making a play for these locations. And terror drones will get stopped. Peacekeeper here as well, and one heroic Athena cannon just firing as many shots as possible. Laser lock going to be coming in, and it looks like it will land from that javelin trooper. No, he will not get the laser lock on that MCV, and instead the terror drone tries to come in for another kill, and just it will not work. Zorminator perhaps pushed to the limit. I think Zorminator is not doing this because it's the best idea, but perhaps doing this because this is his last hope. And Zorminator has been defeated. So we are now down to the final three, the final two teams, GreenAlert and Vitamin, which Vitamin has seen, I think, less than half of this game. Vitamin did not realize the game that he was leaving behind. But it might be better for Team Green overall that indeed he did leave the game. Twin Blade's going to be getting shredded. This is way too many Apollos for just a paltry 4 MiGs to deal with. However, Bullfrog's on the ground. That's another story entirely. And the Iron Curtain is back up and running. GreenAlert has not gone for any of that big late-game allied stuff, which one major disadvantage of GreenAlert is that he has none of the allied top-secret protocols, and because he doesn't have an MCV, I believe he also cannot use any of his Empire things because he would need an Empire MCV to be able to use those top-secret protocols. That is the sort of one downside to the situation that GreenAlert is in. He is playing at a disadvantage from a player perspective, but from a spectator perspective, it definitely makes it better that it's not just GreenAlert winning because he happened to get a really good Cryogeddon and freeze his opponent's entire army in one fell swoop, and then just sort of win that way. So it's sort of GreenAlert getting lucky in the fact that no one attacked him for like a solid 10 minutes of this game, and then that allowed him to build up a big enough income that he can let all of those units die to toxins and still be okay. Yeah, we are approaching the coveted 90-minute mark in this game. This one game is as long as a feature-length movie. One match. You could have gone to the cinema, watched a movie, although basically everything in the movie theater is like over 2 hours these days. But, you know, 80 minutes. 80, maybe it's 85 minutes, but 80 minutes. That's the like minimum length for a feature film, and we have already crossed that mark. We're climbing up right there at the 90-minute mark. And we are all looking to get out of this one way or the other. I definitely would not have signed up for this game tonight if I had known that it was going to be this long. Iron Curtain is ready to go. Vacuum Imploder has 30 seconds. And unlike previously, where all of the super weapon usage was basically going between two Soviet players, GreenAlert is now going to have to actually contend with the fact that he is going to have a Vacuum Imploder pointed at him. And he doesn't have a quick way to eliminate it. He can't engineer or Tanya drop or go for something like that. He could go for the power down if he was able to get a spy into the super reactor, but that is going to basically expire now that the Vacuum Imploder is ready. You know, what do you try to do? Do you try and hit moving air targets with a Vacuum Imploder? That's a pretty tough thing to do. Although when they stop to freeze something, you could maybe try and use that opportunity. Destroy what they're going to freeze, but also you destroy them. If you get the Apollos, then that does make your life a little bit easier. Iron Curtain on the Bullfrogs, pretty much always a good move there. Allows them to chase away those cryocopters and maybe even get a couple of Apollos on exit. And there may also be a scouting problem where Cyber and Yannick haven't actually seen the outer edges of the map, which is why you're seeing these scouting bears get deployed. Hey, Chronosphere! Look at that. Of course, the sponsors of the upcoming Chrono Clash tournament. November 11th and 12th. If you're watching this before that time, well, you can sign up to participate in the Chrono Clash over on GameReplays.org, or you can tune into the broadcast, twitch.tv/Sybert, November 11th and 12th. That is the best time to plug an event, is an hour and a half into a video. Like, hey, you have to watch 90 minutes and then come watch a tournament. But, well, even if you're not that skilled, if you just want the experience of playing in a competitive event, this is a good one to do it, because we do have random draw prizes as well, a double elimination format, and there are bounties. So you could claim a bounty right there in the first round of the tournament, perhaps. And Engineer does not get the Chronosphere, but he does force the sell-off of the Chronosphere, and he does still have a vacuum imploder ready to go as well. Which, you know, you might want to hit a couple of these refineries just to kind of knock down the income of your opponent. And, well, Proton Collider could be a vacuum imploder plus a satellite drop on top of a Proton Collider, and then maybe you throw in an allied support power as well. Although it suddenly occurs to me, has Cyber lost his MCV? Cyber might have lost his MCV, and so he can't use any support powers either. It is looking that way, so that is why we have not been seeing a lot of Cryo-Geddons or anything. It is because Cyber has indeed lost their MCV. Cryocopter gets the kill on Natasha once again. Not quite sniped from the sky, but, you know, the sniper gets cleaned up in one shot. Twin Blade comes in for the scout. Twin Blade comes in for the engineer cap and forces the sell-off. And that engineer escapes. I feel like you might want to just build some walls, man. MCV packs up. And this time, the engineer will not escape. Not quite a hero. Nox 705 bringing the double bit gift here. Glad you're enjoying this stream. This is not typically what we do, is 90 minutes in one match. Twin Blade coming over, looking for the weakness. IFVs, and Engineer is here. But the MCV can, of course, easily pack up. Even if the Riptide wasn't there, the MCV can just pack right up. And an APOC tank, Iron Curtain. Oh, he's going to go for the Magnetic Harpoon, and yep, there's the Iron Curtain. And he's going to go for the kill on the MCV. I don't know, I feel like maybe use the Vacuum Imploder in concert with this. Could have potentially grabbed those, could have maybe grabbed those IFVs. And the MCV goes down. The barracks will be saved by the engineer. That is not something you see very often, is a barracks getting saved by an engineer, and the APOC tank ends up dying, and then the Twin Blade comes in and gets the snipe. I don't know why that barracks was so important, but if he gets the war factory as well, that might be the last production facility that GreenAlert has. No, okay, he's got one down there, so never mind. This satellite will impact and clean up that war factory, and Cyber and Yannick probably think that that was like the killing blow, but what they don't realize is that GreenAlert has slowly but surely expanded everywhere on this map, encircling the island in expansions, so much so that GreenAlert's income is now at 5.2k. Even though it is all depleted refineries, he is slowly but surely climbing up that resource graph higher and higher. Twin Blade gets dropped off. Magnetic mines on those buildings. Apollo's getting tagged a little bit there. This is a scary number of cryocopters. This is like you almost sacrifice a building, you know, sacrifice a unit or a building to get the cryocopters with the vacuum imploder. Because if you could nail 6 cryocopters at once, I mean, that's almost 12 grand worth of income. Cryocopters just watch that harvester get infected by these terror drones. They will get the freeze on those units. Vacuum imploder is ready. Iron curtain is ready. Chronosphere is ready. Everything is ready and waiting. Chronosphere used to eliminate something there. And it's going to be an MCV snipe via vacuum imploder. Misses. He went for it. He did what I said, and unfortunately he missed. So that is a vacuum imploder nuking its own buildings. Are you kidding me? What? What is that? What was that? Ah! I did go back and check the email that was sent along with this replay. And in the email, they mentioned that the player just wanted to sort of end the game. And so that's why the game desyncs there, because apparently at that point, one of the players disconnected and then it kind of crashed the game. And so, unfortunately, that's the desync ending. But I do think that GreenAlert was taking that game. So that will do it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Sybert signing out.